Hi there, I'm Jill Allen, and this is Find Your Fierce, the show designed for women to discover your fierce, unlock an unstoppable mindset, build unbreakable courage, and completely transform how you show up every single day. Each week, I will bring ideas, methods, and strategies that will inspire you to step into your greatness and live life on purpose. Let's be fit, fierce, and unstoppable.
Hey there, gang. Welcome to Find Your Fierce. I'm Jill Allen. I'm so excited that you're here with me as we dive into another amazing episode 178, showing up each week to bring a little fire to your day. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to be more assertive. Assertive confidence that will actually open doors in your life that you didn't even know were accessible to you. But how do you learn how to be the type of assertive that will be well received instead of the type of assertive that comes off being pushy or demanding or bossy? You're going to find out exactly how to do just that within these next few minutes. And we're going to talk about that relationship between fear and people pleasing and perfectionism and the lack of assertiveness, as well as the skill of being assertive and how to learn it like a natural way that works best for you, and why we aren't being assertive enough and what you're missing out on because of it. So here's the thing. I'm going to share with you why you should want to be more assertive, and we're going to wrap it up with action. I'm big on taking that step forward and, taking action. We can't just talk about it and just be a talker. We have to do it. And so I'm going to share with you a few ways that you can put into practice today of the skills of being more assertive. But before we go any further, I love that you are here listening in and spending time with me. I have a couple of updates to share with you. One, Set Fire is available, and if you have not snagged a copy yet, go do so on Amazon, especially if you want to fire up your life and ignite a spark of courage in you so that you can live your life on purpose with purpose. So head on over to Amazon, grab your copy right now. And also, you guys have heard me talk about this for weeks. It's the first ever Trailblazer Challenge. It kicked off a few weeks ago, and it is not too late to join. I am so super excited about it because it's designed to help us get outside, unplug, recharge, and explore the beauty of nature, something that I know that we all need. And the goal here is to hike a total of 4,000 minutes on the trails, right, in the next 4 months. And so whether you're a beginner or a seasoned hiker, I tell you what, the Trailblazer Challenge is for you. So lace up your hiking boots, hit the trails. Registration is still open. And because you are a listener to Find Your Fierce, use the code HLE5 and you'll receive $5 off. Just go to JillAllenCoaching.com to join us. Hit the Hike, Live, Explore link. So are you ready? I know I am. So let's dive in. So you may be thinking that you don't want to be assertive. I don't want to be pushy, or I don't want to burden anyone, or I don't want to inconvenience people, that you don't want to be that person. But that is where your brain or our thinking needs a slight shift. And so I want to challenge you to think of assertiveness in a different way today. Often, the only thing keeping you from a life that you want is your willingness to be assertive, willing to step in. It's like we wait for the opportunity to be presented to us or offered to us, versus us going after the opportunity or for someone to ask us, right? We want to advocate for ourselves, but we also want the opportunity to be so easy and obvious that all we have to do is step into it. And assertiveness is confidence that is activated and expressed in this social situation. And it's all something that I know that we can step up our game in. Okay, so let's talk about it. Where do you want more assertiveness in your life? This was brought up in a conversation this week. How often we feel as if we're loaded down and doing all the things, right? We hear a lot of times that all you got to do is you just got to learn to delegate more, right? Where the struggle of asking people to do things versus just doing it ourselves, right? And you might find yourself in that situation when it comes to delegation at work, or maybe it's also at home, the distribution of work in the home and the boundaries with people in your life. Or maybe the freedom from feeling like a burden or demanding, or maybe you don't like to inconvenience people, so you're not as assertive that you would like to be, or that you don't ask people what you want. Or maybe you're looking for more assertiveness in yourself unapologetically, or more assertiveness in time management with your family, asking for what you want and need, or assertiveness with self-care, making yourself a priority and taking time for you or to pour into yourself in the personal development. Maybe it's assertiveness in your schedule to time block your own basics, right? Versus hoping it's just going to happen or it pushed to the back burner. Or maybe it's you're looking for assertiveness to say no to people. For example, the people pleasing comes in, right? Because we have this passiveness, like, sure, I'd love to help versus saying I can't at this time, but would love to in the future. Just let me know. Assertiveness is having the courage to say what you actually want to say. And I'm not talking about being aggressive, where you might say, I'm tired of helping. Sorry, you're going to have to do it all by yourself, right? I'm not talking about that kind of assertiveness. Being assertive is, I'm not going to be able to help this time, but let me know in the future. So what kind of assertiveness do you want to rise up in? Is it in the workplace, in the home, with boundaries, or is it even in the assertiveness when it comes to your own personal growth? Is it assertiveness in the workplace where you're just advocating for yourself and your boundaries with your family, with your relationships, and you say you're going to hold on to these boundaries, but then they get blended and you don't speak up because you're afraid of the repercussions? Or maybe it's assertiveness in proactively developing relationships, in social confidence and making deeper social connections. Or maybe it's assertiveness in dating or whatever it is. As you decide what area you want to become more assertive in, I also want you to reflect today on why you are not being assertive. Many reasons include of why you're not being assertive is you're afraid of what people think. Like there's this fear of what other people may think or say or speak of you. Maybe it's the people pleasing or perfectionism. Have you ever thought these things? I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to bother them. It's okay. I don't want to seem too demanding or forthright or direct. I don't want to inconvenience anyone. I don't want to be an imposition. I don't want to embarrass myself. Here's where I want you to go from there. What is the number one thing holding you back from being confidently assertive? Could it be that you make assertiveness mean that it's too bold or it's too direct? It's too brash. It's all about what you are thinking about the definition of assertiveness. Here's what I want you to know. When you don't show up with confident assertiveness, you aren't showing up as truthful or honest and are not showing up with your fullest potential. In fact, you're actually handicapping your fullest potential and ending up as this martyr. When you don't show up with confident assertiveness, guys, we can end up resentful. We start blaming, or maybe we become exhausted, or, you end up doing too much, doing what you don't want, accommodating everyone else but yourself. You end up missing out. Paying more, being taken advantage of. Maybe, you end up being misunderstood. And here's what the lack of assertiveness is making you miss out on. It's making you miss out on opportunities, time, friendships, the best you. When you have your own back, you are your own best you, right? Your own advocate. And I bet that you are so good at holding up your word to others, like your commitments to everyone else. But when we don't do that for ourselves, we're missing out on that respect for ourselves. We miss out on what you want, where you stand, the connection, the respect. Maybe it's the piece about your job. And I have to add this in here. Sometimes when you are assertive, I got to be completely honest, there will be people who will not like it. And I have to ask myself, would I rather appease people's fleeting opinions of their thoughts, right? The fleeting opinions of other people where I am passing thought, or would I rather be proud of how I show up in this world? Our assertiveness may make some people uncomfortable, but it's not the people we are assertive to, believe it or not. Like if you're on the phone with, I don't know, your insurance company or customer service line, and they say, who am I speaking to? And they're usually odds are they're kind of grumpy, right? Because they're going through the grind and thinking, here we go again, more troubleshooting and more complaints. And I always say this when I'm on the phone with customer service and they answer the phone like that. I always say, this is Jill. How are you doing today? And I kid you not, it takes them a few awkward seconds to actually respond as if no one ever asks them how they're doing. That they just go into this automatic aggressive assertiveness. So my assertiveness, it's the kind, okay? It's joyful, it's respectful, it's curious, it's friendly, it's genuine, but it's also direct. I try to make friends with the customer service line, where I suggest that people maybe are uncomfortable, It's because they're uncomfortable with my assertiveness in my own life, what I represent for my standards and habits. And it may make people uncomfortable, not the ones I'm assertive to, but they are the ones who wish they were more assertive themselves, they were more assertive with their own boundaries and their own habits and the way they show up for themselves, not the ones we are assertive with. Does that make sense? I believe being assertive calls people up to a higher standard, and that is so exciting. That's a good thing. So let's talk about why assertiveness is amazing and will completely transform your confidence. Assertive people ask for what they want, right? Are you just going with the flow, thinking people will like you more? Are you holding back? Ask for what you want today. You can be assertive, be yourself, and be liked. Assertive people engage other people and create a community. Assertive people feel heard because they actually speak up, they use their voice. Assertive people show up for themselves. They appear to be more confident. Assertive people actually neutralize or calm this mind drama. You know how we go in this vicious cycle of, should I say something or should I not? Do I do this or do I not? They actually take control of their thoughts. It's always worth the ask, always worth saying something. It's this opportunity that we get that we can manage our mind in any situation. Assertive people aren't worried about what people think. They know that some will like them and some will not, and it's completely normal and it's okay. Assertive people take action. They get things done. And if you think about it, they take the lead and they just ask and not worry about what the outcome or if the answer is a no. Think about this situation where you want your child to be in a certain team or maybe have a specific teacher. Instead of worrying about, do I want to be that mom, or what will they think if I call the school and ask if I can switch teachers, or, all you have to do is just ask. If it's a no, it's a no. But if it's a yes, then good thing you asked. So take action. Be okay with the person that asks questions, because the person who asks tend to get more opportunities. So run with that. So how can we be more assertive? Like, what can we do today? 1, we need to practice in little ways, little by little. Things get done and you train your level of assertiveness. Maybe it's, responding to an email or starting there. Maybe it's asking your family to help you out around the house, or take one little thing and just practice every single day, little by little. 2, study and pay attention to body language, right? To win people over, meaning people who are assertive, they stand tall. They have more ease. Study their body language, the way they hold themselves, and then go shift your body language, right? Your internal confidence will actually shift as well. Guys, I don't know if you've ever read this book. I loved it. I read it years ago. It's Dale Carnegie's. It's How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you have not read that yet, go do that. That's like number 3. It's all about assertiveness. And it's like flipping the definition of assertiveness, right? It's not bold. It's not brass. It's confidence and all about winning friends. 4, speak simply and directly. Basically, don't beat around the bush. And then 5, have a list of go-to phrases to transition you, right? Have some starter phrases. For example, these are a few starter phrases when it comes to boundaries, right? Like, let me get back to you on that. I need to check my calendar. I have a schedule conflict. I won't be able to. I have plans. It's just simple. But they're starter phrases that will help you get going when it comes to your boundaries. Here's some other ones, like maybe in general. Hey, do you think if it would be a problem if I, right? And then go fill in the blank. Hey there, do you mind if I go ahead and, or gosh, do you think you could look into this for me? I so appreciate your willingness to help. And you can also be honest. You can be authentic. Eliminate the need to over-explain and have your own back. Keep it simple. Like, we say something and then we have to back it up with all these justifications and excuses. You don't need to over-explain. Just keep it simple, to the point, be direct. Plan your response ahead of time, right? For some sticky situations, there's some stuff that's going to be coming up at work. Just plan those sticky situations. I call them fake conversations, but you'll be ready. Plan what your answer is going to be. Practice managing your emotions. Don't let the guilt or the fear get in the way. Sometimes we tiptoe around people because we are so desperate to be liked. And the best way to be liked is actually to go be yourself. And then you can also do breathing techniques, right? It is a huge, huge benefit to inhale deeply. Find a quiet place to sit and stand, or however you want to breathe and take it all in. But hold your breath, count to 5, slowly release, and by exhaling through your nose, because here's the thing, breathing is actually going to calm the brain and the body, and you're going to feel more grounded, and it will be easier to come back to what it is that you want and how you can speak with confidence. Believe in your worth and your right to speak up. You can also try to stop being a hero. You don't have to do it all by yourself. You don't have to do it all. And then refuse to do any more pity parties for something that you put on yourself. A lot of times it's so self-induced, so no more pity parties. And then we can start small. Speak up. Track this week on how you can be more assertive. Ask yourself, is this an opportunity for me to be more assertive? I hope you are inspired to actually have this confidence and for you to be able to be bold. And when you decide to step into that boldness, to become assertive and to go after what you want, guys, you are going to find things that will begin to shift in your life in such a good way. Remember, the only reason you're not being assertive is because we want to be liked. Okay, so flip the script here today. Before we wrap this up, there's something about getting outdoors, unplugging, spending time in nature, and it is time to unleash your inner adventure with the Trailblazer Challenge that kicked off a few weeks ago. You can still join us and be a trailblazer. Head on over to jillallencoaching.com, click on the Hike, Live, Explore link, and type in HLE5 to receive that $5 off. You do not want to miss it. And if you're wanting even more fire in your day, there's so much for you to do so. You can join our Just Breathe Facebook group, snag a copy of my new book, Set Fire, and join us on the adventure of a lifetime this August for the Backpacker. We are hiking the White Mountains, and it's going to be so, so good. Go to jillallencoaching.com for all updates, as we would love to connect with you. Positive connection is so game-changing. Come back next week. We are going to talk about when to hit pause and how to take a break so that you can reassess what is truly important to you. I know you're going to love it, as it will help and encourage you to up-level. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I pray that I filled your heart with joy. If you could let me know before hopping off, that would be incredible. Subscribe, share this episode link on your social media if you felt encouraged or inspired, as we all know someone that can benefit, and I would love it if you would give some feedback and a review as well. Talk with you next time. Be fit, be fierce, be unstoppable. See ya.